Hello, and welcome back to It's Your Move, where we discuss everything about real estate, including where I work and live in Galveston, Texas. So, today we're going to talk about buying versus renting a home. The decision to buy or rent a home, it's a major financial decision and one that can impact your life for years to come. Both options have their advantages and disadvantages, and ultimately the choice is going to depend on your personal situation and your financial situation. So let's discuss the pros and cons of both renting and buying a home. We'll start with buying a home. The American dream, the home that you own with the white picket fence. Well, maybe that's changed a little bit, but still, here's the pros of buying a home: long term investment, stability, personalization. So, with the long term investment, buying a home gives you that long term investment that it can increase in value over time, which builds equity and potentially provides a financial return if and when you sell. Stability. Owning a home gives you that sense of stability, that security, so that you can live in the same place for years to come without worrying about a landlord raising the rent or selling the property out from under you. And then there's personalization. When you own a home, you can personalize it, make it your own, modify it to your liking, and you can paint the walls, remodel, knock out walls, and adjust all the landscaping the way you like without fear of somebody, saying, "Hey, you have to undo that," or "We don't like the way you do that." The cons of buying a home include the upfront cost, responsibility, and less flexibility. So upfront costs include, buying a home with the upfront investment. It's usually a large sum of money. You got your down payment, you got your closing costs, you have other fees like paying for the inspection and earnest money and option period money and even you might have to pay for a survey. There's quite a few, you're paying for taxes, other things that you wouldn't normally pay if you're renting. Responsibility. Well, there's certainly more responsibility with a home if you're owning it because it comes with maintenance, repairs, and upkeep. You're also responsible for paying the property taxes, insurance, and utilities. So that is quite a bit more responsibility. You also have less flexibility. Owning a home ties you down to one location, making it more difficult to move or relocate or work for other areas or whatever. It just takes longer to be able to move and there's more is required if you want to move. So those are the pros and cons of buying a home. For renting a home, you also have pros and cons. So the pros are flexibility, which you don't have with the buying of the home. So you got flexibility, lower upfront costs, and limited responsibility. So flexibility, when you're renting a home, it provides the flexibility that you can move more easily and more quickly, more normally. If you need to move for work or family or other reasons and there's an emergency, you can usually kind of pick up and move a little bit faster. Usually, well, not say usually, but a lot of times you're also, when you're renting, you might be renting a smaller place. So it's easier to pack up and get moving than with maybe a home. Lower upfront costs. Well, renting typically requires a lower upfront investment as you only need to pay a security deposit and possibly first and last month's rent. So that's pretty good. How about limited responsibility? There's less responsibility when you're renting. You're not responsible for maintenance, repairs, or property taxes. And even if there's HOA fees in a regular home, you don't have HOA fees most of the time when you're renting, unless you're in a condo. So those are all the landlord's responsibilities, and so that's less for you to worry about. The cons of renting include there's no equity, there's less stability, and you have limited ability for personalization. So no equity, when you rent, you're not building equity of any kind or making a long-term investment. It is just not an investment. You have less stability. Um, Renting provides less stability because landlords can raise the rent or sell the property right out from under you, which requires you to move. And you have limited ability to personalize. As a renter, you're limited to your ability to be able to modify the property, knock out walls, and make it to your liking. Some places will let you do some of that, but if you're talking about a major renovation, it's not going to happen. The decision to buy or rent is obviously a personal one and depends on quite a few things with you personally, including your finances. So consider your long-term goals, your budgets, and your lifestyle when you're making these decisions. Sometimes you might need to start off renting in order to build up to where you can buy, Or you may be buying a home and your life changes in a way that requires you to rent for a while or forever. Some people don't want to be tied down and they want to rent. So remember that both options have their pros and cons, and it's important to weigh them both carefully before making that decision, but just know that you have options. And there you have it. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you again on the next video. Thank you for watching, and remember, it is your move.